Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Morning 5 on Monday, November 10th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. Ohio State disposed of Michigan State 49-37 Saturday night in East Lansing, and Urban Meyer picked up his signature win during his tenure at Ohio State. And frankly, the Spartans are lucky this one wasn't a blowout. They had several lucky breaks go their way, and were still beaten by 12 points at home. It was a statement game for the Buckeyes for sure. Now the question is, how much did it impress the selection committee? The Buckeyes moved up to 7th in the coaches poll and 8th in the AP poll. The college football playoff rankings will be released tomorrow, and my best guess is the Buckeyes will be 8th. Arizona State is the team they are jockeying for position with right now. The Sun Devils are ranked 8th in the coaches poll and are ranked 7th in the AP. The other one-loss teams ahead of the Buckeyes include Baylor, they're 6th in both polls, TCU, 5th in both polls, Oregon, 4th in the coaches, 3rd in the AP, and Alabama, 3rd in the coaches, 4th in the AP. I still think if Ohio State wins out and finishes 12-1, they will sneak in the playoffs. There's a chance they could be on the outside looking in, I get that. They definitely need some help from the outside, but I do think a 12-1 Ohio State team would make the playoffs. Probably sneak in as the number 4 seed, but the Buckeyes have put themselves back in good position, and I think if they win out, they're going to make the playoffs. If Ohio State and TCU both finish with one loss, the selection committee could look at how each team did against Minnesota. TCU beat Minnesota 30-7 earlier this year at home. Ohio State will of course travel to Minnesota this Saturday for a noon Eastern kick, 11 a.m. local time. The Golden Gophers are 7-2, and Ohio State is listed as a 12-point favorite. This could be a tough game, but the Buckeyes can't afford to have a tough game. They can't afford just to win if they want to make the playoffs. They need to win convincingly. Style points are important, and the Buckeyes will likely need to win this one by 3 touchdowns to impress the committee. On the recruiting front, Brian Cole from Saginaw, Michigan, who is ranked as the number 5 athlete in the country by the 24/7 Sports Composite and the number 60 overall player in the country in the 2015 class, will make an official visit to Ohio State in December, per Bill Kurelic. Cole is verbally committed to Michigan and is the top-ranked player from the state of Michigan, but he is looking around. Cole took an official visit to Purdue last week. He will take an official visit to Nebraska the weekend of November 22nd and is also considering Penn State and Michigan State. So it appears to be a battle royale for Cole between Big Ten schools. It'll be interesting to see how this one ends up, but the Buckeyes have to feel good that they'll be getting an official visit from Cole. Cole will graduate high school early, on December 17th to be exact, and will enroll at his college of choice in January. So there's not much time for him to make up his mind, and we'll be keeping a close eye on this one. Currently, the Buckeyes have 20 commitments in their 2015 class and have the 8th best recruiting class in the country. Now for more on recruiting, let's go up to the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic.
Watching J.T. Barrett carve up the Michigan State defense on Saturday night, I had to think back to J.T. Barrett when he was the first hand-picked quarterback from Tom Herman and Urban Meyer at Ohio State. And that led me to think about the Buckeyes' 2015 recruiting class and 2 more hand-picked quarterbacks by Herman and Meyer, Joe Burrow and Torrance Gibson. Burrow, this past weekend, threw for almost 300 yards, certainly a common occurrence with him this season. He has been absolutely spectacular this year. And Gibson on Friday night threw for 179 yards, and what made that significant is that Gibson threw for 179 yards in just one half. With his team holding a big lead, he rested in the second half. Now, Burrow is not the biggest, nor is he the fastest, nor does he have the strongest arm of any quarterback out there, but I've seen him a number of times, both at camps and playing in person, and I think he's very good. Certainly, Burrow is good enough as far as size goes at 6'4" and 200 pounds. He's also fast enough, and he is a quarterback that Herman and Urban Meyer liked better than the highly acclaimed Travis Waller. So don't bet against Urban and Herman when it comes to Joe Burrow. And then in Gibson, you have what many people think is almost the perfect fit for Urban Meyer's offense, with Gibson's great speed, his running ability, his overall athletic ability. He certainly is going to take some time to develop. He's not going to be called on to be the Buckeyes starting quarterback right away, certainly, and it will take time for his development. But in Gibson, you certainly have another great prospect as well. And with Gibson, of course, you have the option that if it ever did not work out at quarterback, he could perhaps be a great wide receiver. In fact, I think he would be a great wide receiver if he wanted to go that route. But it is definitely quarterback when Torrance Gibson gets to Ohio State. And as I've mentioned, when you look at what J.T. Barrett has done at Ohio State, it's hard to bet against Herman and Urban when it comes to picking Ohio State's quarterbacks, and I think there's a good chance that one of these two, either Joe Burrow or Torrance Gibson, will be the quarterback that succeeds J.T. Barrett.
Thanks, Bill. Great stuff. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Take it away, best damn band in the land.